This is the former Nokia headquarters. The company had the best engineers in the world. It dominated the smartphone industry. And still they lost to the iPhone. So, what went wrong? At its peak, Nokia had over 40% market share. Its brand was among the most valuable brands in the world, and it was the unquestionable market leader. And then, within a few years, it collapsed to nothing. Most explanations say that they didn't see the change coming, that the top management was blind, or that Apple simply was better. But when you really learn from the people about what happened inside the company, a different story emerges. Inside Nokia, people were not blind. In fact, a market intelligence director told me that they saw the iPhone coming about a year in advance, and they even had quite good specifications of it. They saw the shift, they understood the threat. Even at the very top, the reaction was strong. A top leader told me how he was watching a Google presentation about Android strategy, and the Nokia leader was thinking, oh shit, their strategy is destroying what we are as a company. So the real puzzle is, if they saw it coming, why they didn't act fast enough? To understand this, I studied Nokia from the within. I interviewed about 100 top managers, board members, middle managers, software engineers to get their perspective on how things unfolded between 2005 and 2010, when Nokia declined from dominance to losers. And what I found was surprising. It wasn't the lack of intelligence, it wasn't the lack of foresight, and it wasn't the lack of skills. Rather, it was something much more human. At the top of the organization, there was intense pressure. They saw the competitors pushing, so they pushed inside the organization. They wanted results fast. In fact, one of the top managers told me that the pressure we put on the software organization, it was insane. Top managers created this insane pressure because they feared that Apple and Android are going to destroy Nokia, and they wanted middle managers to act, and they were hoping that this pressure leads to results. Now, what happens below in the middle management? The middle managers, they felt the pressure. Top managers were crazy in pushing them, and middle managers were afraid that if they don't deliver, they will be punished. And this created a climate of fear. In fact, a middle manager told me how if you were too negative, it would be your head on the block. Or another one said that his colleague didn't have the balls to deliver the necessary bad news to the top managers. So, fear makes people hesitate. They don't necessarily lie, but they soften the news. They might hide some sharp edges and embellish the communication. They delay bad news, and sometimes they stay silent. In most extreme cases, people told me how they had intentionally changed data visualizations to give top managers a more positive impression of what was really going on. One manager told how he was in a meeting and was thinking that I should really bring this up. But because he felt afraid, he never said anything. And it was these kind of human moments where someone had the critical information, but they didn't deliver it to the top, that created an illusion within the top management that the company was successfully developing its solution against the iPhone. So, Nokia didn't fail because of what people didn't know. Nokia failed because its middle and top managers could not face what they knew. Analytically, they understood, but emotionally, they didn't believe. And when they didn't believe, they didn't make decisions that would have addressed the root causes underlying Nokia's weakening performance, in particular in software platform development. And now, think about today. AI disruption, global trade wars, other geopolitical tensions, climate change. The world is being disrupted, and that might have a similar impact to your business as digital platforms had on Nokia. Ask yourself, are you able to see the reality as it is? Do people tell you the bad news? And do you have the emotional ability and willingness to accept the reality? Because if you don't, your company might have the same fate as Nokia. And it might be that in a couple of years, your headquarters has someone else's logo on its wall. In the next video, I describe in more detail how the emotional dynamics at Nokia happened and what you can do about them. More generally, in this channel, I discuss the latest research on strategy and emotions. Subscribe to become a better strategic leader. Hihi.